Hello everybody, welcome back to Boss Rush at PAX. We are at PAX West. Very excited to be here. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering. Alongside me is PK Power, Pat Klein.
Hey everyone, how you doing today?
And that retro code, Eddie B.
Hello everybody, yes.
So as of this recording, it's day 2 of PAX West. We've seen various amounts of games throughout the first day. Pat, you played Monster Hunter.
Yes, I did.
Tell the people how it was.
This version of Monster Hunter is aimed to literally capture as many people as they can. If you, or at least more of the RPG crowd, I feel. If you originally played any of the Monster Hunters, more specifically Worlds or Rise, the combat's definitely going to feel familiar. It's very fluid. They added some ease, some quality of life features, such as the ability to focus on the monster. So you're not just swinging wildly in the air whenever you use the attack button. You can actually focus and try to hit pinpoints on the monster. Because if you hit certain parts of them for long periods of time, they start becoming injured, which is kind of like a red glowing spot on their body. And by hitting that even more, it's causing bigger damage.
Okay.
Versus being more focused onto a point rather than just randomly smacking every single part of it.
Cool. It kind of sounds like fighting the monsters in either Horizon Zero Dawn or the tanks in Destiny, where you break a piece of the armor off and this just
yeah,
a very clear
now
spot.
It's a clear weakness
Yeah.
because it doesn't have any protection.
Yeah.
And plus, it's also an easier way to grind monster parts. It feels like, because as you damage it, more monster parts fall off of it. So the combat is A+. You also get this bird. I forget what it's called. It's like a skiet or something, or seawet. I don't know.
Is it the one that you can ride down there?
It's basically a blue chocobo. And you can ride that into the combat as well, kind of like how you did with Palamutes in Wild. But yeah, the combat's so fluid and it's just so easy to just track down a monster, as well as just kind of gather resources. I played the single player version, so I also got the story as well. And this is what I think is a big changer in the Monster Hunter Wilds. It's that there is an actual legitimate story, cutscenes. Your hunter actually speaks.
Oh, really?
And the quality of these cutscenes are the quality that you would see in Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, wow.
So I think it's going to be a huge game changer, just adding a more serious story into this Monster Hunter universe. And I'm excited to see just what this game can do. I feel though they're going to still keep the traditional, here's your quest board, gather all your quests, and just grind as much possible to get the gear that you want. But I think the story is also going to help invite more people to come in for those who want the story aspect.
The other change in this is you can carry 2 weapons now, right?
You know what? I heard rumors that there's a 2-weapon thing. They only allowed you to hold 1 this time, so maybe it's something that gets upgraded in the future.
Yeah, maybe.
But you do have now, it's kind of like a slingshot that you can grab seeds or something, some environmental hazard, and then use it, throw it at your enemies. So
Okay, that's cool. Cool. This comes out, what, early 2025?
They don't have a set date. They just say 2025, but it looks good. I can't imagine this. I would just say quarter 2
Yeah.
of 2025 would be my guess of when it's coming out.
Cool. Ed, what was another game that what was the game that you saw that you liked?
The game that I saw that I truly enjoyed was Mythwalker. This is by Net Games. It's a geological RPG. It's a mobile game. They're having people sign up for the closed beta. But what it is that you take your character and you fight around and grind. But you can make your character human or make your character an animal. And I got to play it as a warrior and a wolf. The music is phenomenal. The creative director, Jesse, he worked on Call of Duty and Halo. And the lead animator, Dave, he helped make a lot of action games. So he knows like the stylistic action and Uncharted and those kind of games. Wonderful soundtrack with the music. In this one, you just really touch, and there's different levels of enemies that you can fight. And when you get into them, you touch them, run up to them, and then you guys auto fight. So think of Xenoblade Chronicles, where you can auto fight. You can hit a circle or a square, and they'll give you a special move. But there's more shapes that allow you to do more, have more abilities for defense. And then you get an ultimate move that once you press it, it'll take off a whole bunch of damage. You could have co-op play also. So if you and your friends are walking down the street and you guys want to grind and battle together, you guys could link up and battle. Great animation. Like, you might think this is a mobile game, but this literally is something that could be on console, on Steam and everything. And right now, the team is only working on mobile for right now, but maybe in the future, they're hoping for more platforms if they can. If not, they're going to keep it just for the mobile system and everything.
Cool. And you said it's called Mythwalker?
Mythwalker.
Not to be confused with Mistwalker, the awesome RPG studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got the chance. Yeah, I got a chance to really explore what they're all going for, and there's like 3 classes, and it's a free-to-play game. And they were just like, really, if you want to give money, it's more for costumes, like cosmetics. It's nothing that you're gonna have to use to pay to win the game. At this time, they are not talking about bosses or anything, but they may have a conversation about it down the line. I really was enjoying myself and everything. And I was just like, oh, this is literally Xenoblade Chronicle vibes.
Cool. Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Pat, anything else you want to? Any other cool games?
I did play a really fun game called What the Car.
What the Car?
What the Car.
What?
This is a sequel from the Triband Studios, which made What the Golf.
Oh,
originally,
okay.
these were Apple Arcade games, and then they came out on PC, and then What the Golf came out on Switch. We haven't, right now, What the Car is currently on Apple Arcade, and it's coming out on the PC here in the next couple of weeks. I think like September 19th is what I heard.
Okay.
But it's an absolute fun game made by people who know almost absolutely nothing about cars.
Awesome.
So it's like, what can we get this car to do? Well, let's start off by kicking off the wheels and giving it legs. And then like the next part of the demo is, okay, you gave it 2 legs, now let's give it 6 legs, and just add more things, like let's make the legs really big this time.
Yikes.
Let's add rockets to this. It's
no.
It just keeps like throwing more and more like features into this. And it's really fun to play. They're like little micro levels that you're encouraged to just kind of do better at each time, get that like gold score. There's also little hidden things that you can find in the level that you can collect. And it's really cute. It's really fun. And the game's priority is to be humorous and light as possible. Like
nice.
the developers understand that it is, they want people to enjoy themselves. They don't want to be taken seriously. They want you to be able to just laugh and relax, because that's what gaming to them is supposed to be.
Yeah. Cool. When you said What the Car, the first game that I thought of, remember that downloadable PS3 game called Calling All Cars?
Yeah.
That David Jaffe made? That's the first game that came to my head when you said that, but this is not. Definitely does not sound like that.
No.
Ed.
So there's a game called Alterium Shift, and this is a 16-bit style RPG in the making. If you think Secret of Mana meets Chrono Trigger, with the way that it looks, they're planning it for Steam and Switch. I think they got an early access for Steam. The Switch port is the one that I played, and he's the guy that we talked about it and everything. It wasn't running well when it was in motion, running around the city because the game wasn't optimized. It was just really giving you an idea of how it's going to look on the Switch. And I was playing that in handheld, but it is 60 frames per second on Steam. It was running buttery smooth on the other versions. So they're focusing on Steam, but then they'll come on Switch a little bit later. It'll be a 3-tier, like a 3-party system. Fighting, you can use like skills and magic and stuff. It really has an interesting story to it. Hopefully they put in a map in it, because at this time they don't have a map system where you can find out where you need to go. But it is a really great game. I looked at it and I'm like, man, this is giving me Alondra for the PS1 feels, and
Wow.
I'm so here for it. But like, it's a beautiful 16-bit art style. Like they really, you talking about, is this 16-bit SNES game? It sure is. It looks beautiful in motion. I was just mesmerized seeing it on the big screen. I turned around and didn't even plan on, looking for that kind of game stuff. I just seen the emotion. I'm like, what is this game and why do I need it now? And everything. So yeah, Aterium Shift is definitely, they don't have a release date for it, but they're hoping for 2025. And they really hope that they could get it on more platforms, but they said Steam and Switch is the platforms that they're working towards.
Cool. Let's do one more game each. Pat?
I would say I also played Path of Exile 2.
Yeah, how's that?
It's definitely a Diablo clone. I've never actually played Path of Exile 1, so this was I kind of got like the gist of like a lot of the controls, like a lot of the things such as your inventory, like being squares, and just like equipping new equipment that can raise like various stats on you, or hotkeying some skills on, and you're playing on an isometric map where you click on the bad guy and you smack them until they're dead or until you die if you get like surrounded by a horde. The cool thing that does, I feel, make it a little different compared to Diablo is that there is a dodge button. So it's definitely helpful when you fight some of the more beefier guys that can really damage you. Is you hit the spacebar and you can roll away. But yeah, it was it was very interesting. Like graphically, the game looked really good graphically.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like Diablo, Path of Exile would be, something similar to play after you finish off the Path of Hatred, because Path of Exile enters early access November 15th.
Nice.
PC and PS5.
You know who was really obsessed with Path of Exile? Remember Joey?
Yes.
Joey was really obsessed with Path of Exile for a long time. And the only two, like, he used to play Path of Exile and Final Fantasy XIV the way that I played Destiny for a long time.
He was into it.
Oh my dude, it was nonstop. He would miss shows because he was playing Path of Exile. But that's cool. I'm Diablo. I feel like Diablo 4 was pretty split. People either like really loved it, or like they liked it okay, but the seasonal content wasn't very good, or it just seemed very, kind of fans were divided. It felt.
I mean, I would say that most would agree that it's better than 3. Because 3 kind of changed the tone to be more like colorful, and and this 4 goes back to being darker and more sinister.
Yeah, that's the Rod Ferguson Gears influence.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rod Ferguson. We need you back, Rod. We need to finish Gears. Okay, that's my theory. Is that you're not working? You're working on Diablo now, and they're working on a prequel, so they can let you finish 6. It's my theory. I don't know anything, but that's my theory. Path of Exile, you said November early access?
Yep, November 15th early access for PC and PlayStation 5.
Nice. Ed, one more?
My final one is going to be Astrobot for PlayStation 5.
Yeah, Astrobot.
I know people have got the review code, so they're playing it. So I'm excited for them. This game is literally beautiful, so silky smooth, very colorful. I was laughing at some parts. it's going to get me whenever I get a PS5. You know, trying to collect everything. It has the little collectathons with the Astrobots, which is really cool, and you can see different Sony characters
Oh, okay.
into it. And I love that you'll get an ability maybe halfway through the level to help you explore more. But yeah, Astrobot is so fun, so gorgeous, tight controls. I think I told the exhibitors that I really think that Sony has a Game of the Year nomination on their hand with Astrobot, and it would be crazy if that game only get 8s and
Yeah.
no 9s or close to 9.5s, because it looks like this game is going to be huge, it's going to be big, and I'm super excited. It's definitely a must-have for any PlayStation 5 owner.
If this game gets less than 90 on Metacritic, I'm gonna be shocked.
Yeah.
I literally, because I think people gonna be like, well, it's a QC platformer. And I'm like, no, it's more than that.
Yeah. There were 2 games here that I felt like I was excited for, but after playing them, they're like shot up my most anticipated games. One of them was obviously Zelda, right?
Yes.
And Astrobot was the other one. I'm like, I think Astrobot looks good. I'm into 3D platformers. It's probably my most anticipated game for PlayStation in a long time. But after playing it, Pat, you, me, and Stephanie played it yesterday. It's phenomenal. It's gonna give Mario Odyssey a run for its money. I truly believe that it is an incredible platformer. And I know they tried to make Sackboy that for a while, right? And it didn't quite work out. But I think the things they're doing with Astrobot, between introducing him to everybody that bought a PS5
Yes.
initially, right? Like that Astrobot still comes with
Astro's Playroom still comes with PS5.
and then now they're making a full-on game. I think they have a hit on their hand. I think Sony's strategy with trying to find that younger audience and the older audience with PlayStation nostalgia, this is their version of Smash Brothers, in my opinion. Of like, this is a neat way to bring our franchises together that don't necessarily fit all together.
Yeah.
But they're coming together in a really neat way.
And I gotta say, the controller is beautiful. I love the Astrobot controller.
I felt it
looks
staring at me the whole time.
It was.
It really is good. I think that was the one cool thing. When you beat the level, it shows you how many Astrobots you collected, and they all come out the controller that you're flying on. And I'm just like, that is so cool. And in a weird way, it feels like it's a switch for platformers that, Team Obi, I think.
I think it's the Sobi.
That they have this family-friendly game, and Insomniac is going into the more teen kind of game with Spider-Man and Wolverine, because Insomniac was the 3D platformer for Sony,
right,
with Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Daxter and stuff. So it's kind of it's a good, for some reason, it's a good switch for them. So yeah.
Cool. Well, that's going to do it for this segment. Stay tuned for more interviews and cool things from PAX West. Hopefully we have a ton more to show you. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next segment.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.